Movies about movies. Like so many in this series, today's movie is funny and sad, and this one is also gay. In the summer of The Fault of Our Stars, I offer another low-budget indie film based on a novel where someone who's witty and smart and funny falls ill, faces death, questions life's meaning, and finds a beautiful boy. This film is from 1998. It's Gods and Monsters. It's fiction, the product of a novelist's imagination, a gay novelist called Christopher Bram, but the main character is completely real. The story is well researched. James Whale, in the 1930s, directed films at Universal Pictures. You may have heard of some of them. Frankenstein, The Invisible Man, Bride of Frankenstein, Showboat. Whale was not the only gay filmmaker of his era, but he was one of the very few in the time who did not hide his orientation. Whale is played by Sir Ian McKellen. When we meet him, it's 1957. His live-in companion of more than 20 years has moved out, but they remain friends. He's long retired from the film business. His career went south like the fictional career of Norma Desmond in Sunset Boulevard. This much is historically true, and it's on this background that the novelist and the screenwriter build their story. Like Desmond, Whale lives with a grim-faced, protective German servant, in this case a housekeeper named Hannah, played by Lynn Redgrave. Also, like Norma Desmond, Whale's life changes when a young man enters his orbit, although in this case it's not a writer, but a gardener named Clayton Boone, played by Brendan Fraser. When we meet him, Whale has suffered a series of strokes that impair him mentally. Still, he manages to keep up with his twin hobbies, painting and persuading young men to take their clothes off. The film, written and directed by Bill Condon, wastes little time before showing Whale as a lecherous old guy who regards his young gardener with a lustful gaze and a lascivious flicking tongue. You're forgiven if you cringe. It's a bold gambit on Condon's and McKellen's part to introduce the character as a leering old lech and then only gradually over the course of the movie give us a more balanced and nuanced portrait. We end up feeling great empathy for Whale, as does the young straight gardener who's the object of Whale's eager and manipulative attentions. The strokes have left Whale's brain without the usual filters that hold past memories at bay, and a jarring flood of memories is a painful intrusion on Whale all through the picture. But as a narrative device, it has its uses. It allows Bill Condon to bring up flashes from any period in the director's biography for exposition or to comment on what's happening in present time. We get glimpses of Whale's childhood in England's industrial West Midlands, his time as a factory worker, his ordeal in the trenches during World War I, and the glory of his greatest success on the sound stages at Universal. Condon weaves these memory flashes into a rich tapestry that conveys the complexity of the man. The screenplay won an Oscar for Condon. Film also scored acting nominations for both McKellen and Redgrave. Brendan Fraser is so earnest as Clay Boone, the straight, very naive gardener who at first finds Whale a little bit odd and only gradually realizes that Whale is a homo, as he calls him. If you know how movies go, you can probably guess that a respectful, if wary, friendship will develop between these two, separated though they are by age, by orientation, by, I'll say it, though it's un-American to do so, by class. In the last reel, we suddenly see that Whale's advances toward the young man may not be about sex at all, but something more urgent, darker. Spoilers. A highlight of the film has the director and his gardener attending a chic Hollywood garden party given by director George Cukor, Whale's much more successful but discreetly closeted contemporary. Whale seizes the occasion to get cheeky and let the Hollywood elite know just how he feels about them. There may be other actors who can deliver an arch put-down with more bite and derision than Ian McKellen, but they are rare. In 1998, when he made Gods and Monsters, Ian McKellen was known mainly for his stage work, but within just a few years, he would become a genuine movie star in 2 multi-billion-dollar franchises, as Magneto in the X-Men series and as Gandalf in Peter Jackson's Tolkien epics. Condon hasn't done badly either. Here are a few of his better-known films. Oh look, Condon also has a billion-dollar franchise. Gods and Monsters holds up pretty well both as a story and as a portrait of Hollywood in the 30s and the 50s. Much has changed in attitudes towards gays since then, but not enough, Nash Greer, not enough. Next time, all extras. Nothing but extras. And after that, a video about a movie about Dracula. Until next time, I'm Mickeleh. DVD extras. You don't have to know Frankenstein and Bride of Frankenstein to enjoy Gods and Monsters, but you'll probably enjoy it more if you do. And if you can only watch one of these films, I recommend Bride of Frankenstein. It's the goofiest. There's a copy of the screenplay of Gods and Monsters with Ian McKellen's handwritten notes on it on his website, link in the description. I drew some parallels between Gods and Monsters and Billy Wilder's Sunset Boulevard, but here's a very real connection. The score for Sunset Boulevard was written by Franz Waxman, the man who gave Waxman his first assignment scoring a Hollywood feature, James Whale. The picture, Bride of Frankenstein. One more thing. Two more. One, the Frankenstein-Sherlock connection. Britain's National Theatre mounted a production of Frankenstein on stage in 2011, directed by Danny Boyle. It's much more faithful to the novel than most film versions, alternating as the Doctor and the Creature, switching roles night by night. Benedict Cumberbatch and Johnny Lee Miller. Both those guys wound up playing Sherlock Holmes on TV in 2 different productions, in 2 different countries. One for the BBC, the other for CBS. So if you want to see dueling Sherlocks as the Doctor and his Creature, both versions were filmed and they'll be shown in an encore at select cinemas around the world beginning late October this year. There's a link so you can see if there's one coming to a theater near you. And 2, best for last, the McKellen Sherlock connection. Just the other day, from Ian McKellen's Twitter, Sir Ian McKellen is currently filming as the 93-year-old and retired Sherlock Holmes on One Last Case. It's a new film written and directed by Bill Condon, star and director of Gods and Monsters reunited. I'm so excited. I hope it's good. Hope it's better than Twilight. Here's a trailer for Gods and Monsters. Here's my series on movies about movies. It is customary to ask people to click like, but only if you liked it. It's also customary to ask people to leave comments, but what I want to do is ask you to read the comments. Conversation usually gets very interesting after these videos. Well, I guess some of you will have to leave comments so there's something for the others to read. Work that out amongst yourselves. I trust you. Bye now.